Hi, this is Joan Coleman, Customer Account Manager and Livestock Specialist with UFA, based out of Stettler, Alberta. In support of our Bringing Them Home campaign, we've put together 3 videos to help producers maximize their profitability and performance of their animals. In this segment, I'll be speaking with DJ Woodward from ADM Animal Nutrition, and he's going to talk to us about maximizing grazing with your cattle using free choice supplements. Morning, DJ. How are you?
Morning. Good. How are you, Joan?
Good, thanks. So, what can producers expect as far as consumption when they're using a free choice supplement after they put their cattle out for the first grazing in the fall?
First, we need to know the nutritional history of the cattle, whether they were starved for salts and minerals going into this new pasture, and or they've had put a little more pressure on the previous pasture, so maybe they're just slightly hungry and they're going to be trying to get full on forage. And when we go into that new pasture, we can expect them to put on a lot of miles, covering the entire field. Being the selective grazers that they will choose the cream of the crop for the first few weeks. So we don't expect very high consumption in the first couple of weeks on a free choice supplement. They won't spend a lot of time around the supplement as they cover the entire field. And as they get sort of the cream of the crop off of the field, they'll then focus on the supplement a little bit more, and we can expect normal consumption at that time. Before that, don't panic. They're doing fine nutritionally the first couple of weeks in a new field, and after that they'll hit the tub just fine, or the free choice supplement, and normal intake will be established.
So is there any way we can help the cattle utilize the entire pasture, go into areas that they wouldn't normally tend to go to?
Yeah, most certainly. Tubs are a great grazing distribution tool, and we can help cattle utilize the entire pasture by moving the tubs throughout the pasture to the less riparian areas, the areas where they're the hilltops, the grass is ranker, taller, drier, and we can only do this once we have established consumption on the tubs, and pretty good consumption. I'm talking half to 1 pound, and from that point we can move the tubs, draw the cattle into those areas. I will tell you though, once we move the tubs into these areas that the cattle don't spend a lot of time, our consumption is going to go down a little bit. We can expect that. It'll drop probably 50% of what it was when we had the tubs near the higher traffic areas, near the water or the loafing areas. But we will utilize the pasture. The cattle will seek these tubs, they'll lick on them, and then they'll graze the pasture and the forages around the tub.
Okay, so then would producers see increases in consumption at certain times as well?
Yeah, most certainly. As we look at the consumption rates of a tub in a pasture, as we talked, they'll likely be a little lower when we first go into a new pasture because they're grazing the cream of the crop. Then we can see normal consumption for the mid-season of that pasture. And then as we fall off for the last half of utilizing that particular pasture, we can expect higher consumption because they're now getting short on forage. And even though as producers we may not think they're short on forage, the cattle are having to work a little harder to get full, and they may spend more time around the supplement because it tastes pretty good to them, and we can expect higher consumption. And as a producer, you need to decide and make that decision if you're okay with higher consumption, because you're trying to put a little more pressure on that pasture and clean it up before you move out.
Great, thanks. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Joan.